views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Get ready for Clear Speak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolf on Transformation Talk Radio. On this hit show, Dr. Wolf shares the principles of Clear Speak to help listeners gain insight and tools to expand their sensory awareness, thinking, perceptions, awareness, and speech. Follow along and become empowered to start acting with greater self-awareness and certainty, and to notice beyond what was seen before. Clear Speak Talk Radio. Think it, speak it, live it now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Jeanette Wolf, and you're listening to the What the Feng Do I Do with My Shui episode on Clear Speak Talk Radio. Stay with me for the next hour as we explore the topic of how your space reflects your inner dialogue with yourself, and explore the fact that you experience and interact with the world through your senses. Today's session combines traditional Feng Shui with intimate ergonomics and sensory IQ, which is the process by which we receive spatial information through our senses and organize that information to use it to navigate your space and to participate in everyday activities and to feel at ease wherever you are. The principles that you will discover today are easily applied to your home, to schools, to offices, any building, any event space, and beyond that. And they support you. They support your children, your families, your colleagues at all levels of sensory well-being. So take a moment to download our unique Bagua at planetapothecary.shop and send us a note or give us a call if you might like a sensory profile or intimate ergonomic What the Feng session. You'll find that Bagua under the Sensory IQ tab. So today we're broadcasting a distant consult for my dear friend and colleague, Jean Babino, that will demonstrate how effective it is for you, our listener, and any clients to notice the language that you speak with yourself and how that's reflected in your space, and how empowering it is to notice it for yourself through simple questions that I will ask you as you explore your own home, room, office, school, desks, and even gardens. Wandering through your own space with the guidance of some of these simple space maps in an intimate ergonomic session with sensory IQ mentoring and assessments promotes self-awareness, and it helps you boost whatever desired purpose that you have for your space. You can focus on one room at a time, the entire building, your bedroom for enhanced sleep, your kitchen to balance eating habits or cultivate a more nourishing hearth for your family, any room for your studies to either rest or focus. It's really all up to your personal choices. The most exciting part, of course, is that in knowing yourself through sensory awareness of how and why you create, navigate, and respond to your space, you can edit your well-being, your performance, your rest, your concentration, and incorporate wellness methodologies to feel and be at ease wherever you go as you navigate time and space itself. Our approach is powerful. It's very, very simple, and it's whole and unique in that it's based in neuroscience and research methodology that optimizes how individuals operate in a designated space. My childhood fascination over the years of playing with nature's elements, paying close attention to how and where things were growing according to where the sun sets and rises, to how wind bends the trees, to how water moves the earth, the sounds or lack of sounds of birds and insects and animals during varying weather patterns were the most remarkable teachers and experiments in my personal life lab. And today, my work focuses on how environments influence their inhabitants moment to moment. All of the methodologies that we'll be exposing you to today, that we'll be sharing with you for your personal use, explore the manner in which the intuitive, unconscious aspects of how the brain influences your behavior, human behavior, your pet's behavior, and your performance in tandem with a cognitive approach. And so how do you benefit? Well, you get to learn new things about yourself. You learn new things about others. You can improve your relationships, and most of all, the relationship to yourself, and understanding why you do what you do, why you feel the way that you feel in certain places and spaces. You get to learn a few tips and techniques on self-regulation and de-stressing, and you get to discover tools for ease and health and whole being, and how to feel focused, rested, energized, productive, whatever it is that you're personally looking for. And remember, I'm not irreverent when I employ the phrase, what the feng do I do with my shui? I've discovered over the years that making light of things, moving the density of the idea that somehow we can do something wrong, opens the space of playful curiosity to come forward. Enlightenment is just that. It's making light of things. So I invite you to come to your senses today, to lose your minds a bit, and feel what it feels like to wander through your space with a new lens, with real eyes, and to take actions and explore what is possible when you attend to what is in front of you. And so please, everyone, take a nice deep breath in and let that go. And allow yourself to connect to another language, another octave, another dimensional layer of accessing knowledge, your intuition, your internal compass, how you intuit. Yeah, so go into it, intuition, your innermost knowing, and allow your remembrance of a language, of code, syntax, or archetype. However, your sensory faculties are aware of something that is changing the field around you and your relationship to everything within that field. And so relax into your space. Don't worry if you don't have the map right now. Just be with yourself and notice how you feel. And close your eyes for just a moment and really go into yourself and feel what it feels like to adjust from the inside out. And for the sake of this conversation, consider that your well-being, that your health is whole being. And choosing to live in harmony with yourself by being within yourself allows you to live in harmony with the outer world, with everyone in the outer world, and with the universe. And so just for this moment, let's exercise courage, heart in hand, courage, and access a matter-of-factness in noticing what you notice as we walk through your space, as we explore old belief systems, ideas, habits of thought around what you thought you deserved and how you set up your space, and to be absolutely okay, neutral about whatever's there. No judgment of self, just noticing. And explore the concept of recycling, rebooting, and updating the programs that you have made matter in your space. And let's also call forth and cultivate your most expansive, highly focused imagery abilities by paying close attention to your anatomy and the emotions tied to both your physical form and your space. As we wander through, you'll likely feel some unique emotions. You might have a lot of ideas around what was supposed to be. And so we're not going to pay attention to why or what's supposed to be. we're simply going to focus on what is and what actions you can take in this now moment in your newly recycled, rebooted, and updated realization of what is possible. And so let's take a nice another deep breath in and let that go. And consider opening yourself to a deliberate mental clearing of historical beliefs around possibilities or probabilities, and allow emotional detachment to whatever comes up for you. And let's facilitate some deep relaxation, accelerating your holding by surrendering to the mantra of your own heart rhythm as you relax into the sacred space of your home, your office, wherever you're sitting, and you expand the field around you with your own inner compass. You know what you know what you know. And so relax into this space that we're co-creating as we broadcast. This ancient knowledge is actually bringing us back to ourselves. It can be considered an aspect of the medicine of the future. And it is simply the grand space of presence in the now. And while our approach at Planet Apothecary is ever being refined, I find that the greatest healing is available in exploring the three aspects of life force as we continue to morph and transform and expand with our own realizations. Part of our chi or energy comes from the vital energy reserve that we've received from our lineage, from our parents. And this type of inherited life energy is referred to as ancestral chi. And I would say, know yourselves in the now, not from whence you come, as we have left our imprints behind as linear time ended in 2012. The second source of chi is absorbed and produced through what we take in. And so clearly, your choices in food are considerations for you in receiving your most optimal energy. And the third source comes directly from your environment. A certain amount of energy is absorbed from our surroundings and taken into the body and the meridian system via our skin, the photosensors in our skin, via the acupuncture points themselves. Acupoints appear to function like little tiny energy pores in the skin that absorb this unique environmental subtle energy directly into the subtle energetic bodies, where it's then distributed to the organs of your body. And so, in keeping with sensory well-being, realize that one of the most powerful tools in feeling at ease in any space is the diffusion of pure essential oils. Intimate ergonomics, Feng Shui, is all about understanding and moving supportive energy to where it will do you the most good, according to what you choose to create. And so energetically high quality essential oils are one of the most potent, concentrated tools that you can apply to supercharge any of your desires in any part of your life. You can find information about our unique crystallized vibrational essential oils at planetapothecary.shop. And I would remind you that other than their energetic benefits, essential oils also remove pathogens like bacteria and viruses from your home and your workplace through diffusion in the air, and they strengthen and support your emotional self and promote easy feelings and social harmony. And so remembering that the field of you and the field of your space is a vital relationship, and one to pay attention to the language that you speak with each other. Consider that pure essential oils are incredibly electrical and nutritional, and will significantly raise the vibration wherever you go. And so, just for this moment, and before we go to break, will you consider this question? What within me, what thoughts, beliefs, ideas, old information am I able to let go of, delete, recycle, reboot, and update so that my brain biocomputer system may operate in pure present flow? And so consider that as we go to break and get ready for some fun, some easy to apply and powerful insights as to what your space speaks to you in reflection of what you believe you can have, and get ready to upgrade your brain bio software. And if you haven't already, take a moment and go to planetapothecary.shop, Sensory IQ, and download your sensory awareness map. And have a peek at our wonderful collection of high vibration pure essential oils. All of them contain living energies of herbs and vitamins and minerals and gemstones charged with the power of crystalline energy and other natural structures. They're all programmed using crystals and sound and color and sacred geometry, energy found in nature, and they maintain the vibrational signature of the plants and other energy forms for your optimal well-being. You're listening to Dr. Jeanette Wolfe at ClearSpeak Talk Radio. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll explore the question of what the fun do I do with my Shui?
Imagine that you can create anything you choose. Literally, imagine it. Join us to explore the neuroscience of imagination, intention, and ClearSpeak. Tune in to ClearSpeak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolfe on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, as she explores how your inner dialogue, your conversations, and the words you choose to use can help set goals you keep, achieve greater health and resources, and feel the ease and flow of loving your life. For more information, visit JeanetteWolfe.com. What the fun do I do with my Shui? Are you ready to hear what your space is about you and what you're communicating to the outer world about your inner dialogue? Are you ready to create harmony in your surroundings? Then join us on ClearSpeak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolfe on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for current IT integrated with ancient knowledge to boost the broadcast of your space. Visit JeanetteWolfe.com for more information on this amazing approach. What are the Planet Pods and Planet Filters self-care alchemy essences? Our high vibrational essential oils and body butter contain living energies of specialty herbs and essential oils. All our products are created using the energies of nature. Made from flowers and herbs, each blend is then programmed using crystals, sound, color, sacred geometry, and other energies found in nature. Our products have a delicate aroma, and more importantly, they contain the vibrational signature of plants and other energy forms for optimal healing. Check out planetapothecary.shop to add these to your family's self-care and well-being.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ClearSpeak Talk Radio with me, Dr. Jeanette Wolfe. And today we're going to dive into that question, what the feng do I do with my Shui, using a combination of sensory IQ, intimate ergonomics, and some traditional feng shui. With that, I would say have your bagwas out and know that we are not going to go section to section. We're going to join my friend, my colleague, Miss Jean Babino, today in her bedroom, as she's been wonderful and willing to invite us into her space to give you an example of how a very small portion of a mentoring session might go. Jean's been with me for about 10 years now, and she's been practicing the arts of feng shui with me, and also the magic of juggling and interpreting and balancing and making everything beautiful and organized as the billions of ideas pop out of my brain every day. So, Jean, welcome. Welcome to this transmission, and thank you for being with us. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be doing this with you.
Yeah, me too. Actually, it feels like just one of our regular chats, and I feel like we're going to be able to offer quite a few insights in understanding the very inner sanctum of our self-speak as it's reflected in one of our most sacred spaces, our bedroom. So thanks for inviting us into your space and being willing to ask questions from a place of not knowing, since this is something that you do every day. So where would you like to begin, Jean? What is your intention for these few moments and for your bedroom?
For my bedroom, I just want it to be a sanctuary, a place where I could come and really rest, meditate, and also to sort of sprout new ideas and dreams and sort of start growing them from this point and really believing that they can happen.
That's wonderful. And truly, the bedroom is the place to start when we're just beginning to dive into sensory awareness and Feng Shui, because from the minute that we wake up to the moment that we go to sleep, and while we sleep, we are being imprinted by what's around us and imprinting it. It happens in mutual reciprocity. So everything from our moods and our feelings and certainly the furnishings that we are surrounded by are continuously imprinted on our 5-track sensory recorder. And so we get very accustomed to navigating a space and doing what we do, often unconsciously by rote, simply because in our lives today we're bombarded with so much information. And so how many times do you wake up in the Jean space and notice how you feel, or do you hit the floor running or check your phone to see what happened while you were asleep?
Yeah, that's usually my phone is next to my bed, and that's what wakes me up in the morning. And so it's there, and it's really easy to just look at everything on the phone immediately.
Yeah, so the outer world is the first imprint from the moment that you wake up. And so I would say, let's step away from any outside stimuli right now. And if you would just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in and place your attention on what is, on your senses, and feel into where you are now. And notice the difference of what you feel in your space versus what you thought that brought you to the place of choosing to explore how to change your bedroom. And remembering that we often choose a session or a reorganization when we sense that somehow something's off about what our space is saying about us or to us, and we've somehow outgrown the communications that we put out before. So, Miss Jean, what are you feeling as you sit in your space?
I feel the need for change. I've recently gotten rid of 2 big pieces of furniture in here. It's just, I feel like I want to almost throw everything out, except for a few key pieces. It's pretty peaceful in here. I have lots of windows, and there's a tree outside the window, so I really love nature. So I feel good about where it's located in the house.
And as I recall, that space is already sitting in the back right of your home, according to the Bagua, which is your 5-6 session, right? The back corner?
Yes, correct.
All right. And your office is right below it on the first floor, right?
Yes.
So a really interesting piece to note when we are looking at past, present, future, the first floor is often recognized as the current time, and the upstairs is the place where we do dream, where we do enter the space of the potentials, possibilities, and probabilities of the future. So when we sleep above our workspace, we can often actually be colored by the energy field of what we've been doing all day. And so that's something to consider as well, in terms of making your sleep space even more of a sanctuary. You might consider having some mirrors under your bed, and mirrors in Feng Shui actually direct energy, right? So emotions are energy in motion. And if you're busy all day and rocking and rolling the way that I know that you do, at speeds of light, all of that intensity and static can also affect your sleep. So what's under your bed?
There's nothing under there. But I do have a big mirror that I don't know what to do with, so I could certainly put that underneath the bed.
Mirrors are the great aspirin of Feng Shui. They direct energy. They're kind of primitive Star Trek. So when energy is needing to be directed, mirrors are a powerful way of doing that. So that's something you could think of. Where is your bed in regard to the door?
The door, well, my bed is right across from number 1. So it's in the relationship future, number 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the door is 11.
Okay, perfect. So, so you have a clear view of the door.
Yes.
And it's not quite a direct pathway. It's not like your feet are facing out the door?
No. My feet, no. The door's beyond
good.
that.
Good. Excellent. And so I'd like to ask if there's equal space on both sides of the bed.
There's a little more room on the left side of the bed,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the way, the room is proportioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of an equal space.
And what side of the bed do you sleep on, or do you sleep smack in the middle?
I sleep right in the middle, on my left side, though, facing towards the left.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I do, something's
mm-hmm.
going on because my head and my neck is always very crunched when I'm sleeping.
So next to your beds, do you have nightstands?
They're
tables?
Sure. Yes. They're pretty low.
And so are they, do they have sharp angles on the corners?
Oh, I do have, yes, I see it. There's one thing that has a sharp corner there.
And if you look at the sharp corner, is that pretty directional? And when you're laying in bed, would that be pointing anywhere near your shoulder rhomboid?
It's pointing exactly in that spot.
So again, whenever we're in a space, the things that are pointy are shooting energy as well. So in traditional Feng Shui, those are called poison darts. And the beauty of using color in space is that the color red has the broadest wavelength of the spectrum, and applying small red dots in less than obvious places on anything pointy that is shooting energy at our resting body, our auric field, is very beneficial in redirecting that sharp pointing energy, that laser-like boom that comes from the point, into more of a waterfall of energy, so it disperses and isn't directly affecting or attacking our field when we're resting. So that might be a very simple and easy switch for you.
That sounds great. I'll be heading to Michael's to get those little red dots.
Yeah. And I also really love using red nail polish. While we might not always want to put that on our furniture, it can be very beneficial and it stays a very long time. So,
that's
all right.
good.
And what size bed do you have, Jean?
It's a queen size.
Queen size. And can you tell me a little bit about it? Is it metal? Is it wood? Is it close to an outlet?
Yes. My head, there's an outlet right to the right of my head in the bed. And the bed moves up and down. It's a foam mattress, and there is metal, I think a metal frame on the bottom and some wheels.
Okay, so those are a lot of aspects that might affect sleep. So our bodies actually are direct current, DC current, and in the United States, we're surrounded by alternating current. And so with that, our natural flow of energy, our personal pulse, our electromagnetic field is affected by the alternating current that runs through the walls all the way around us. And if there's a plug right by your head, by your brain, I would say that certainly is affecting aspects of your well-being and your sleep and your ability to regenerate at night. So something wonderful that you can add very quickly is rose quartz. Rose quartz actually has the field that is able to soften some of those transmissions into more direct current. And then there's also the potential of applying cobalt, which is an amazing mineral that we applied to electronics in the early years before electricity was brought into the home. We would put cobalt into the glass sockets that were over the transmission poles outside. I'm really dating myself here, but I actually have quite a collection of those. So cobalt is something that you can find as well to shift that. At a cellular level, the body uses direct current electrical pump to feed and clean itself, and the pump is created by a small difference between the electrical charge in the cell wall and the nucleus. And that differential operates something called the sodium-potassium pump. And the sodium moves nutrients into the cell and the potassium moves the waste out. And so often our body becomes very, very fatigued when we are having an imbalance in the sodium-potassium pump. And actually, it's interesting, in many chronic illnesses, that charge is highly diminished. So you could consider sliding the bed over a bit. You can treat that socket with either the rose quartz or the cobalt, and also ground the bed with some rubber feet, and the wheels, I would imagine, are rubber as well, but you can accentuate that with the furniture supports.
Oh, that sounds great. I like that idea.
It's something that we don't think an awful lot about, but especially in our newer homes, there's not a lot of precautions that we can do in terms of stepping away from that AC current. And again, it's just our body, when it's sleeping, its natural electromagnetic field, or our aura, spreads out even more. And it's so vital to recharge in that strong and smooth direct current of the Earth's night, really. And so our nervous system can be overstimulated. And I hope you take those precautions.
I definitely will.
Awesome. So you said you took out some big furniture. Tell me about those.
That furniture came in when I was in another relationship, and there was big energy that was not really serving me. In that they were antiques, so they came from other people, then into the relationship, and it was just big and heavy, and I couldn't bear it in my room anymore.
Well, that's actually pretty interesting because any tall, heavy furniture, particularly wooden furniture, is actually metaphoric for overbearing relationships or relationships that are controlling. And so I would say you're already very aware of moving out your Shui, and that was a great move. So let's have one more question. If you could ask anything about your room right now before we go to break, what would that be?
I still have a large armoire that's directly across from my bed, and it's something that I picked out myself. I do love it, and I've wanted to move it to a different spot and wondered if that would make a difference because it does sort of feel overbearing, but it's really heavy. So I'm wondering if moving that to a different spot would be okay, or if that really needs to go out of the room.
Well, if you love it, that's really important because when things bring us joy, that already begins to balance it. In terms of the weight of it, you can really have a look at the location of it. Is it something that actually casts a shadow over your bed? Can you change it according to that? Just a few feet, a few inches one way or the other. And you can also soften it. You could consider putting some pothos, some beautiful plants growing over the sides, some vines, and you could put some beautiful textiles, some linens to soften the corners as well. Have a look, douse out a little bit to see if any of the tall lines are pressing into your aura at night. Generally, the aura spreads a good 2 feet beyond our outstretched feet, arms, head, and all the way around. So you would definitely like to have that a good 3 to 4 feet away from your bed.
Yes, it is. It sounds like it's in a good spot. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Well, Jean, I wish we could go longer, and I think you and I will do this a little bit more offline because it feels like you're ready for some big changes. And I'm very excited to see how the flow begins to shift in that space of yours. And we're going to just call forth a transformation in this moment for both your interior and exterior space to clearly communicate and to bring into your whole being the relationship and communications that you're ready to enact. Thanks, Jean, so much.
Thank you. I love you too.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
So everyone,
Bye-bye.
We're going to go to break with Clear Speak Talk Radio, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Are you ready to consistently tap into the transcendent place where your whole being is available to you and access a higher level of ability and performance physically, cognitively, emotionally, and effectively? Then join us on Clear Speak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolf on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Go to JeanetteWolf.com, Quantum Body, to sign up for your whole health mentoring. Are you ready to broadcast your brand ideal with the latest in information technology? Bioresonance software distills your brand ideal or intention and enhances your core internal organizing principle. This has a tremendous impact on your organization's alignment as well as the behavior, satisfaction, and the retention of its employees. Your physical business structure can unfurl, opening up the possibilities of creating an energetic presence for a brand even ahead of its launch. Check out JeanetteWolf.com for more on its signature frequency branding. Imagine that you can create anything you choose. Literally, imagine it. Join us to explore the neuroscience of imagination, intention, and ClearSpeak. Tune in to ClearSpeak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolf on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, as she explores how your inner dialogue, your conversations, and the words you choose to use can help set goals you keep, achieve greater health and resources, and feel the ease and flow of loving your life. For more information, visit JeanetteWolf.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Clear Speak Talk Radio with me, Dr. Jeanette Wolfe, as we wrap up today's episode of What the Feng Do I Do with My Shui? So thanks again to Jean, who was so willing to invite us into her personal space. And we'd like to just wrap up with a couple of simple questions to ask yourself that support your candid, authentic inquiry from a sensory feeling space that will support your clear mental body choices in noticing how your self-dialogue reflects back to you from your space. And so as we navigate wherever you are, whatever room, whatever environment, whatever building, your desk, whatever it is that you would like to understand about reorganizing according to your conscious attention and intention, consider these questions as you look at your sensory IQ map. Starting with section 1, what's reflected in regard to your healthy self-identity? Do you have a healthy self-identity? So notice what is in your section 1. Section 3 reflects back to you any questions around if your communications are clear. Section 4, question is your hearth welcoming? Do you want to stay in your space the moment that you walk in and notice what's in section 4? Remember that there should only be pairs in section 5. No angels, no fairies, if of course you would like to be in passionate relationship. Section 6 asks the question, do you feel loved and useful? And what is reflected in that part of your space? Can you get past the idiosyncrasies of life and truly notice how you've painted that space? Moving on to section 7, the question would be, am I willing to be committed to myself and to others? Am I willing to sign on the dotted line? And is there balance here? How am I painting the vista of what mutual reciprocity can be for me? And then have a peek at section 8 as well. And notice if you have clutter, is it there? This is the space of hidden agendas. So tucking things away there or clutter, according to your personal desires of having a hidden agenda or not, can be reflected there. It's a place of shared power. So of course there's so very much more to consider and to explore. But remember that we as humans are in our greatest flow when we are in harmony with the world around us. And after the development of agriculture, humans began to break that connection, and instead of living in harmony with nature, with sensing what is around us, we started to want to dominate and control it. Sensory IQ, intimate ergonomics, Feng Shui helps you understand and remember to tune into the harmonics of the weather, of how you are deeply connected to animals, insects, seasons, elements, the planet. All of them are constantly communicating incredible sensory insights that we often no longer pay attention to. Living in harmony with the planet is the way that our bodies were designed and evolved. And listening to the dialogue all around us supports your most whole being and your most whole experience of self. In present day, communication systems carry so much static. We keep the lights on and stay up way past sundown. We get up in the dark. Many of us sit in front of computers for many hours a day and eat foods less than consciously because we're so busy paying attention to the communication coming out of our devices that we forget that our greatest communication systems are internal. Your nervous system is a brilliant system that will keep you consistently informed as to how your form is navigating time and space. It's so interesting that going outside is something to do versus our natural state. And so Planet Apothecary, Sensory IQ, Master Mentoring, Quantum Body, our Feng Shui, Intimate Ergonomic sessions all help you answer the question, what the Feng do I do with my Shui? Because perhaps I haven't actually been tuned into the natural harmonics of everything on this grand planet. And so with that, I'll just do a little touch-in on an extra technology that supports your return to mutual reciprocity and being able to hear and to speak what it is that you choose to create. The more that you understand that you are magnetic and electric, that you interact with all of the fields in your environment, that you create the fields in your environment, and you can integrate both the positive and the negative as charges, not as good or bad or right or wrong, simply as information and energy. And in our sensory awareness, we begin to understand that our consciousness always carries an intention according to where we place our attention, and will therefore have a definitive effect on everything around you, the field around you, whether you're aware of it or not. And so ClearSpeak begins internally. ClearSpeak begins with the dialogues that you have in your head and supports your clarification and trust of your clear mental body. And it helps you learn to master your creation by knowing that when you set your attention, when you attend to this now moment, you can change your experience in form. Bioresonance technology is an incredible tool that has supported much of what I've come to see in the last 20 years as a reformation of matter based upon intention and sound. It can be used to help you be clear in noticing what you're pulling into the fields of your experience. Take some time, explore our shop, planetapothecary.shop. Check out our mentoring sessions. Check out our wonderful chroma, aroma, crystalline plasma essential oils, and diffuse them in your homes as you become ever more aware of how you would like to navigate your space, your time, and your choices in creation and structuring and restructuring according to where you place your attention, moment to moment. Jeanette Wolf signing off for now. Check us out, planetapothecary.shop. Much love, everyone.
Thank you for listening to ClearSpeak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolf on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern as Dr. Wolf works with you to consciously construct the life you love. Learn how your health, relationships, your joy, and flow can grow in direct proportion to your expanded self-awareness and communications on ClearSpeak Talk Radio. For more information on Dr. Jeanette Wolf and her amazing work, visit JeanetteWolf.com.